also looking towards Washington and what to expect from the gentleman who's going to become president of the United States on January 20th. Nobody really can predict at the moment what Donald Trump will do. What will he do in terms of China? Will he seek a cooperative policy with the country that will allow China and the US to grow? Or will he, make life more difficult for China, which would mean that people in Nigeria and people here in Europe would get to feel this? Those are the major uncertainties that people have in mind, and that's why you don't find easily people here to make confident predictions for 2017.
Yes, exactly. Conrad, of course, if you get the FOMC members of the US Fed says they are quote-unquote concerned about the incoming president in the White House at the Oval Office, then everyone else was sleeping with one eye open until January the 21st, after the inauguration, where we hear from Donald Trump on 20th and the morning after. But again, let's move on with our lives for the moment. Look at the airline business. When we talk about the price of crude oil anywhere in the world, and anytime this happens, the carriers seem to have a way of handling it, making some gains, losing some share at some point. How do you think the new oil price rally will play out for the major carriers like Lufthansa and the big boys around the world?
You're very confident, Bosun, to predict that the oil price is going to increase. Of course, this cartel that OPEC and the non-OPEC oil producers have formed, this price-rigging cartel, has to show that it really will be able to work this year, 2017. But of course, you're right. You're not the only one to predict that the oil price is going to increase, and the airlines are quite nervous about it. The prediction by the International Airline Association for this year is that net profits will decline from $35.6 billion in 2016 to only about $30 billion. You asked me how they are handling this. Well, I can tell you the example of Lufthansa, our German airline here. It just announced that it's going to hire 3,000 more people here in Germany, many new cabin crew, for example. But Lufthansa is giving those people contracts which are much less paid and not as good as the contracts for the current Lufthansa staff. How is Lufthansa doing this? It's hiring those people by way of subsidiaries that have cheaper tariffs. And that is a process that's been going on at Lufthansa for a while now. It's the reason why there are so many strikes at Lufthansa. And it's quite likely that we are going to see more of this in the course of 2017.
Interesting times. Conrad, looks like the British Airways folks are the ones who's going to have the first turbulent year weather in 2017, with the news that the British Airways, some of the workers may be going on strike for 48 hours sometime next week. Let's discuss the BA story, stormy weather sometime next week. Thank you very much, Conrad. Do have a great day, and bye for now. From Frankfurt Stock Exchange, the DWTV for Channel Television. Let's look at the Japanese market. Shares under pressure today after jumping more than 2% in its previous session, with a stronger yen weighing on Japanese exports. The Nikkei 225 benchmark ended 0.37% higher. The Australia's ASX 200 had a big rally for the day. All the day till the end of the market, 0.3%. Over in Hong Kong, the Hang Seng gained a massive 1.4% by mid-afternoon after the Nikkei Purchasing Managers Index for December showed that the private sector economy might be on the curve of a recovery, with a reading of 50.3 compared to November's PMI at 49.5, slightly below water. Mainland Chinese shares were mixed, with the Shanghai Composite 0.21% higher and the Shenzhen Composite finished down 0.16% on Thursday. So the details of the December 2016 FOMC minutes was a key talking point for investors and analysts around the world today. You've heard a little bit of that as we chew that together with Conrad there about a minute ago. So the U.S. stocks index futures pointing to a lower open as traders eye the release of more economic data and earnings we'll talk about in just about a minute. On the data front, the ADP employment report is due at 8:15 Eastern, with initial jobless claims due out at 8:30 in the morning Eastern as well. The market services PMI at 9:45 in the morning, and the Institute of Supply Management is called the ISM, non-manufacturing data, ISM non-manufacturing data at 10 o'clock in the morning. These four data are very key today, Thursday, for Wall Street. On the earnings front, you expect to hear from Monsanto, Walgreens, Boots Alliance, and Constellation Brands. Those earnings are due for release before the opening bell at about 9 o'clock Nigerian time, while LN of Troy, Price Smart, and Ruby Tuesday will be out after the closing bell on Wall Street. So let's take a quick look at Nigerian market, where Treasury bills closed on a bullish note yesterday. Investors in the bond market, Naira bond market, however, remain bearish, pushing yield upwards across the curve. Let's see what the debt market is looking like this Thursday with Ifeanyi Akweche, who is a fixed income trader at Wema Bank, joining us on the phone from downtown Lagos. Ifeanyi, good afternoon. Thanks for coming through on the program.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you. Give us a sense of today's trading day so far on the treasury side and the bond side of things.
Okay. This is the first trading week of the year. The fixed income market has been very active in the T-bills market. With the back inflow into the system, CBN came to the market offering promo at 18% and 18.6% for the short and long tenors like that. But today we've really been seeing a lot of activities at the T-bills market, very bullish at the moment. The PMA yesterday, the primary market option closed at 14%, 17.5%, 18.685% for 91, 182, and 64 days. And that has actually affected the market. As of today, the market liquidity is yet to be ascertained as of today. So the market is really quite active at the T-bills market. But for the bond market, the calendar for auction has not been been seen in the market. Have not been released rather. So the market is actually expecting that maybe next week or the upper week we're going to have that calendar, and for that the market has not been very active at the moment.
Okay.
But for next week we expect the bond market to really be quite active.
Yes, we're looking for that calendar from the Debt Management Office. Thank you very much. Ifeanyi Akweche from Wema Bank. When we come back after the break, Mexico has increased petrol prices or gasoline by 20.1% and protests all over the country. We'll talk about that